phone off or do not disturb.
All right, speak. I'm gonna see if it's say something.
Say something.
Say some more stuff.
I really am craving some pickles right now, and I'm just fucking excited for the future, and I'm so grateful to unite with you again.
Hi, so what's your name? Where you from?
My name's Santana from Topeka, Kansas, and I've been in Florida for about like almost 4 years.
What do you do for work?
So I used to juggle quite a bit, but due to like circumstances right now, I'm primarily dancing. I'm currently looking for bartending, and yeah, once I get my car going, I can start juggling all the different avenues I like to make money in. Dancing's great, but it takes a lot out of you.
What made you start dancing?
So I moved down here. I did everything in my power, like cleaning toilets at the marina. I worked at a kratom shop, babysat about 40 hours a week. Hello, sir. And doing all that, it just wasn't enough, like financially. I was losing weight, barely able to pay the rent because I've mostly always lived alone. So I just wanted more for myself because I knew if I was going to break that cycle of survival mode, then I'm going to have to put myself out there a bit more. So it was like a long process too, because growing up the way I did, it's like, you know, frowned upon. So it's been good. I love it, but it's like a love-hate relationship at times.
Yeah. Okay, so where were we?
So you asked me kind of why I started dancing, and I got into like the financial reasons.
Okay. Do you
But
Go ahead.
Then there's like really the main reason too is I love dance. I mean, there's a lot kind of tied into it. You know, being like sexually assaulted, getting my power back through that, kind of. There's just so much. It's taught me a lot. But yeah, as far as like other than finances, I already had a backbone, but I knew getting into this, I could like already foresee how it would better my life outside of the money. And now like, I know how to stand my ground, but deliver the message better because it's taught me so much patience. Like you said, I'm a firecracker and it's hard for me to harness that. So dancing, it's taught me instead of, you know, coming back with people's negative energy, it's like, let's show them a different way because this is all they're used to. So, I don't know. It's another little tangent, but...
So you mentioned that you're sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
Could you like dive more into that?
Yeah. It's been a few more incidents in the past 3 years since I've been here. But really what affected me the most was my aunt. Growing up, she would babysit me, and it would go on for like a couple of years. And that in itself was just like so much else, you know, not including what was going on already at home. So I think I just like shoved it deep down and I hid it for a while and kind of honestly forgot, and it just kept coming back up and haunting me through, you know, my teen years. And finally, you know, I accepted it, and it fucked me up for a long time. That's why I left Kansas. And not the only reason, but I knew that I needed to find my power back. Like, for example, even masturbating or having like sexual partners. Until recently, after all the healing, I couldn't even, I'd never used toys because of that situation. I didn't like feeling sexy because I felt like something like that would happen, or like I'm asking for it. So after doing like a lot of internal work and dancing, like it's just, it still hurts, you know, the memories and everything, the fact that someone can do that. But I just feel so much stronger because of dancing. So I don't know, it's a blessing.
What would you tell anyone that, you know, maybe is thinking about going in that
into that line of work, what kind of advice would you give them?
I would say, because a lot of sexually assaulted men and women, it's like these phases that we go through. At least for me, I feel like it's my fault, and then I have to remind myself that it's not. So I think the biggest thing is like, just be aware, and if the second you don't like the way someone's making you feel or the way they're talking to you, just because you're there for a job, like, step away. Like, you have the power, and that's the whole point of it. Just don't cross lines just because someone's kind of putting you in a corner, because that can happen. And there's been many times in the VIP where, I'm like, I stand my ground. Like, just because you're throwing an extra this or that, it doesn't change who I am. And that's exactly like in those moments where I'm like, no, putting my foot down. That's where it's just like takes me back to when I didn't have that control. I didn't have a voice. And now I have the voice. So use your voice. It's like some big advice, I would say, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you ever fallen in love before?
I feel like I could have fallen in love with a couple people, but they kind of wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't open up and reciprocate. I definitely have a lot of love for many people, so it's just, I don't know, it's who I am. It's the whole point of life, is to love. But I don't think I've really been in love. But I feel like I could have.
Do you feel like it was your line of work that kept them from opening up?
Yes. Yeah, like recently, what I was talking to you about earlier. In that situation, yeah, it hurts because it's like I'm doing this to better myself, and it is all temporary. And the person that, they say they like, which is me, it's like, well, this is a part of who I am. So, if you want to be with me, you want to get to know me and grow with me, then you have to accept that part of me as well, because it's made me who I am. And it's honestly kind of been like the biggest turning point in my life, becoming a dancer. So, it just becomes way too much. It's all the energy. And it's like my work isn't done when I leave the club, because it's 2024 and you gotta fucking market everything and brand yourself. So it's like it follows me on Snapchat, on every social media app, if I'm wanting to do the best I can to bring people in, and like I said, all these other connections. But so it's a lot, but it is worth it.
Yeah, earlier in the car you were getting blown up.
Yes, I have like 50 unread Snapchats, so it's overwhelming when I'm like, I'll get to it tomorrow, and then it's like a week later, I'm like, back. But you have to fill yourself up, fill your cup, and then it's like, then I'll get to you, and I can be more consistent, but until so.
Do you feel the connections you make are like your customers? You see them as just strictly customers?
Oh no, and I always like express that too. So I try, like, whenever I'm feeling it in my heart, I'll go on my Instagram and I'll say like, thank you everyone that's been like coming and showing me love, whether it's just to like come give me a hug at the club or to come throw $200. Like, this shit means everything. Like, they're the reason why I am, I guess, elevating in life, because without them I wouldn't have that money. I always express how grateful. And that's why, like, since I started, I still have the same customers coming in. So it's nice. Kind of like my family in a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You feel like if you had a chance to just get out of that industry tomorrow, what would be the first thing you did?
I wish I could live a million lifetimes and do everything. Music, for damn sure. But I really, more than anything, like, I remember as a 5-year-old, I would sit in bed, like, thinking about what I'm going to do with my life, because I didn't want to be like my family, like, that young. And I remember thinking, like, damn, I feel so bad for, these babies, these not even babies, just people in like Haiti and Africa, like, see growing up on the TV. Like, they need some fucking clean water. So like, definitely music, but also something to actually make a difference. I'm really passionate about the foster care system. It's like this close to going in it, but my dad cleaned up himself enough to get custody, and my brothers were kind of taken from me and put in foster. So like, that's something else. If I had the time and could juggle, it'd be like any and everything artistic, and then anything and everything intellectual, to have that balance, because I need both to be stimulated. If that makes sense.
Does working this kind of job, does it stimulate you sexually?
No. No. So I was saying, like, it's funny, like, I think I've been turned on twice, genuinely, and both
Your
those...
whole life?
Oh, no.
Oh.
No. You're like, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah.
No.
But like working?
Yeah. I think I've only genuinely been turned on twice, and those two people I dated. So, one was the official, and then the other guy was the one. Last time was on Valentine's Day, so I spoke to him. Yeah, I miss him, but like you said, we don't force. We flow.
Tell me about your childhood. How were your parents?
I was making a dark joke in my head.
You can say it out loud if you want.
Oh god, there's like too many. So complicating. My mother, she has all the love in the world for myself and my brothers. They have different dads. But as far as she goes, that was the first 13 years of my life. And I would watch her get beat about pretty much every day from the time that I was like 5 to 16. I actually like put my brother's dad and his brother in prison probably about 4 different times. So I would call the cops on them. So it was fucking chaotic, but she loved us so much, she just didn't know how to love herself yet. So it showed. And she was addicted to methamphetamines, alcoholic, you know, the typical cliche story. But this ring right here, I actually lost it here when I moved here, and I had a metal detector. That was crazy, dude. But she is 7 years clean next month, so that's beautiful. We love to camp. Not everything's negative. You know, in the midst of it, like, I still enjoy little parts of my childhood. Despite, I love camping with her and my brothers. We would just like disappear and like just go fishing, and like you hear her hollering, and like, I don't know, those memories make me happy. My father, he's had a rough life, more so than my mom. And, well, I guess I shouldn't say that, but in different ways. His father died when he was 6. His mother was addicted to heroin. She passed away when I was 12. He left Virginia about 14 because he was in foster care. And so, you know, typical, like, troublemaker white boy that's trying to be in, like, the gangs, like the thug look. And when I turned about 13, he was trying to get his life around. He, like, found God, found what saved him. And he's kind of been on his own healing journey. He still struggles a lot, but I have that man to thank for not being in foster care. But growing up with him was a living hell to it. But I love him, you know. As I say, it's complicated. It's very chaotic. But we also had good memories, you know. Not everything's negative. Like, he was the reason I ever really started watching movies. And I remember, like, he would sit down, and it was so important to him that we go and watch the new Twilight every time it come out. And, like, despite his anger and him hitting things and his alcoholism and just kind of being a dickhead to me sometimes, he's a good man, and he's got a lot of love for me too. So not everything is black and white. I'm have my setbacks with them, but I'm like always trying to progress and like have patience and understand I'm not perfect. So it's an ongoing healing process. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just got this tattoo not long ago, and I'm like, I haven't seen my dad since I got it. So I'm like kind of excited just to fuck with them. I kind of like pissing them off in a petty way. But they should be proud, you know, like that's what my mother, she is proud. She's like, I know that you're not, you go about it a different way, you know, you're not the typical stripper like aura or like attitude, you know. I'm trying to get in, do what I need and get out, do what I'm really supposed to do in life, so she sees that. And my dad, he's like, oh, I'm really the bad dude, you know, but he'll see. It is. That's what I mean. He loves me, but I refused because I think of what my aunt did. I was so quiet for so long, and so now it's just like I want to be unapologetic as fuck because I am proud of myself. I've come a long way. Should have brought that damn sweater. I'm like.
Yeah, getting darker, getting cold.
I know, that sun though, I haven't even looked at it. So beautiful. Regrets? I think just remaining sad. Like remaining in my pain for too long. Like really the last 3 years I don't have a lot to show for here, but I have a lot up here that I've worked through and a lot in my heart, and I think that should come first before you start trying to dive into. Oh, you're good. Pass on through.
I go and I lost my phone, so I was over here somewhere.
You want me to call it if you can't find it?
Yes, actually, can you call it?
Yeah, of course.
It'd be amazing. I have those saving hands.
Yeah.
You're a baddie.
I think we were on regrets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead.
So, we ain't got no regrets. Oh my god. What's that movie? Real quick. Malibu's Most Wanted. If you haven't seen it, that was a part of my childhood. That'll explain the parents I grew around.
Okay.
Malibu's Most Wanted. That shit's hilarious. Regrets. So yeah, I think I was saying I just wish I wouldn't have dwelled in my pain for so long, because you know, maybe now I would have had that album that I've always wanted to create, or I could have done more healing with this time, but again, it's not linear and you can't force it, so I'm trying to think if I don't think I really have any other regrets. I mean, even when I got my dental assisting, I lived in North Carolina with the man I dated for 3 years when I was younger, and when we broke up, I left and went back to Kansas for like 6 months, and then I came here. But I don't even regret that. I just I didn't listen to my gut and my heart. I went in for this interview with the DJ because it was like between this or that I was deciding, and I'm like, oh, let me be logical, because I hadn't stepped into that power that dancing has really brought, and so I went for that instead. And I also was like paranoid and just had trust issues, and so I was worried that the DJ guy was like making false claims. So yeah, that's not even a regret. It's just like in that moment I should have done what I really wanted. So, but I got that on those skills now, and I have knowledge on that. And when I went to Colorado, another ramble, but again, I don't regret it, because I met this man when the pandemic was happening. They closed the borders down. I'm like, man, I don't care, because I was considering offing myself, and I went into the same rehab center that I would see my parents in growing up, and I asked them to just take me in for 3 days, and they did not. They fucking denied me. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm saying I want to fucking off myself. And so I said, fuck it. And I got in my car. I took my friend Robbie, and we slept in my car for 5 days in Colorado, so I could just get some new air, you know, get my mind right. And I met this dentist, and I got a job for like a whole day. We were smoking a joint in his office. I'm cleaning it, setting up all the instruments, because he had an emergency operatory, and it was the pandemic, so everything was closed. And that was cool. I made money, and like, yeah, I didn't do the DJ that I wanted to at first, but like that brought such a cool experience into my life. So everything happens for a reason. Even if you might not make the right choice, and you always end up there, I feel like. Yeah.
So do you believe in mistakes?
Mistakes?
Mistakes.
Oh, mistakes. Yeah. Yeah, you have to. Everything's, you know, kind of like the yin and yang. You can't have the good or the bad. You can't really get further in life unless you fuck up. That's where you really learn the most. That's where you're tried and tested, like how bad do you want it? You might have just like fell down for a few mistakes, but what are you gonna do to get back up? You know? I feel like that's where character comes out the most.
Do you have any role models?
Definitely. I would say, as far as like, Halsey's a big one, like, especially back when I had realized and was confronting, you know, the situation with my aunt. She really helped me, you know, through those suicidal thoughts and this and that, just all the negativity. Just her music, the way she writes, I'm like, girl, I feel like you're taking it straight from my heart. So she's very inspiring. Yeah. I don't know why. It's such a hard answer. Because like a lot of people inspire me, but I wouldn't say I put them on a pedestal. So yeah, I have to come back to that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last time you felt really inspired?
Today. Yeah. Today. Yeah. When, let's say the night with a couple friends last night, and when we woke up, they were smoking, and they were showing me their music, and it's actually very good. My friend Hollywood, and then I'm gonna fuck his name up because I just met him. Dufflin? That's not right. But yeah, they're really good, and so it was just cool because I've been so blocked creatively just because my living situation and all that stuff. So I felt like it kind of cracked me open, and then I met up with you, and then it's like I got cracked open a little more. So yeah, just really happy. I can feel like a change in my aura, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and moving helped. Having a safe place.
Yeah. Where were you living before?
Oh boy. I was living with this man I met at the strip club. He was my security guard, and we had been friends for like a year and 2 months before I decided to move in with him. I've always lived alone. I've had a roommate twice when I was like 19. And my rent was $1,600. Again, I was assaulted in Ybor, broke my hand, couldn't bartend anymore. Then, so I was dancing during the day with one wing. It's funny. And so, you know, things are getting worse. And then I met this girl, right? She was in a really bad situation, kind of reminded me of my mother. So I was like, oh, you know, let me help her out, because I haven't helped anyone in a long time, because I've stopped doing that, because I always get fucked. You know, it fires back. And so I let this girl move in with me, and I deal with it for about 2 months. I'm like, I can't do it. So if you want to live here, you take my lease. I'm gonna move in with David, because I just lost my bartending job, just healing from a broken arm, and my car broke down. And we work at the same place, so I'm like, this makes sense. Like, you're my friend. Nothing bad is gonna happen. And mental health is a fucking bitch. And I'm not saying it's an excuse. Maybe he is just an actual sociopath, pretty sure. But yeah, I was living with that man, and it just went downhill quick. So I'm bouncing back from all of that. Like, actually sitting here, like, I'm happy, but like, the last 3 weeks since I was assaulted by him, I just, like, I can feel it. And so this is like the best. You know, that's why, like, I keep moving around, much hope in a long time.
There's probably like people that are gonna watch this video. They're probably going through like this relationship.
Yeah.
They probably want to know how to handle it.
Oh.
What would you tell them if you were able to talk to them and give them advice?
It's not your fault for why they choose to put their hands on you, and it's not your responsibility to fix them. It is not. Had I not tried to fix him, or make sure that I was gonna leave sooner, but I was worried he was gonna kill himself. So he talked about it, and me giving a fuck about people, I should have left a little sooner, and I think it would have avoided all of this. But yeah, it is not your responsibility. And as much as you think they're gonna change, it takes a lot of time, and no one can prove that overnight. So don't stay, leave, go love on yourself, because it's not fair. It's not fair to anyone. I still don't understand why the fuck it happened. But you know what? That's why I say mental health is real. So I don't know. I have flashbacks going through my head right now, so it's a bit difficult. But just get out. Get the fuck out. Run, Forrest! For real.
What are your plans for the near future?
Oh, I'm so excited. So yeah, now that I'm in a safe, stable place, I started reading books again. It was truly unlivable at the last one. I couldn't even put my yoga mat on the ground. So I'm just gonna get back to who the hell I am underneath all of the what makes Santana, So that primarily, just mental health, and then I feel like I'm pretty much back to normal, which is nice. So soon I'll be focusing on getting a job close to where I'm living now, and then but music for sure. I'm trying to not focus on too many things at once, but doing things like this, anything creative, honestly, and really just looking inward so I can narrow it down, because I do have 50 things I could do and I could excel in, but I can't do all 50. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, that was a good answer.
Yeah.
I think that was really insightful. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's do this again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Part 2. Alright.
Be a little lighter next time.
You want to do any innocent plugs before we call this?
What'd you ask?
Any innocent plugs? Instagram, social media?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. Follow me if you want, or don't. It's literally ITS Santana 727. I believe it's mostly that on everything, so it should be pretty easy to find me. And of course, beautiful man behind the camera. I don't know your handle.
I just changed it.
But follow him.
I'm gonna put it in the video.
Okay. Yeah.
Alright.
Thank you guys for listening. It's the first time I've done anything like this. I truly don't like being in front of the camera. So it was cool to break free of that fear. And Corey, you've been awesome.
Thank you.